Holy hell. Look at this. Tomb Raider 2013. Do we need another Tomb Raider game? Hell, it came out way back in 1996, and I remember playing it back then, and I remember loving it, but also being incredibly frustrated with the weird platforming and how you fail all the time, and it just seemed like very clunky and weird. And now, all the years later, look what's happened. Look what's happened to Lara Croft. Well, this is kind of a prequel. This is like her first little mission with her little buddies. You know, you start off and you're on your little ship Endurance and you get shipwrecked on an island, very much like Lost. Almost exactly like Lost and exactly like Far Cry 3. It even has a part which is a little bit like The Hatch. I'm serious. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, whoa, this is like Lost. Lost being one of my all-time favorite shows, except for the ending, which blows balls. Fuck the ending of Lost. We don't want to talk about that. But this game is different. It it has all those elements like that, but it also has weird things like leveling up. Who would have thought? Level up, fast travel. Holy crap, that's cool. Uncharted never had that, but did it ever need it? Uncharted series was always so good you didn't need to level up. You just got slightly better weapons sometimes. But this is a different thing. It's cool. I mean, you get experience points, and it lets you upgrade your skills, and you get you collect salvage, you know, little things, little boxes, and from enemies and whatnot through the island, and it lets you upgrade all your weapons, and your weapons can be upgraded to the max, my friend. And by the end of the game, you will have most of your weapons well maxed. Trust me. I've played through the whole game. I have finished it, all that, and trust me, you'll be happy with all that. And for the most part, it's jaw-droppingly amazing. That's what I have to say about the game. It's simply stunning, especially the visuals. That's what really shocked me. This late day, we're so far down into the PS3. The PS3 is on its last leg. The PlayStation 4 is coming out soon, and the Xbox, the new Xbox. We got the new consoles coming out, but here we go, man. We get this kick-ass game with these graphics that just blow your brain out. I mean, for a lot of part of the game, as I was walking through it, I would just literally stop and just like look at like Lara holding the torch and looking at a skull, and it was the best looking skull I've ever seen in any game. You know, it was just incredible. It really shocked me that this is a PS3 game. It almost feels like a next generation game. Everything is so fluid. Her movements are fluid. I mean, you don't push a button to crouch behind anything. When there's an enemy really close by, she will automatically, crouch behind a box or get behind a wall. It's very, very fluid and very cool, and it never feels intrusive or anything. It's just really cool. I mean, I actually played GTA 4 right after this game, a little bit of GTA 4, maybe a couple of hours, and I kept thinking, damn, this is very clunky, man. I felt like I was running around with it. I felt like Nico was a tank. I felt like, the main character just was walking around with like lead boots. But Lara Croft, man, in this game, she shines, and it is awesome. I mean, it's incredible. For one thing, I think they went in a great direction, very much more realistic. Just the whole feeling of the game feels very broad and amazing and almost open, if that makes any sense, since so many open world games are of the norm now, like Skyrim and the GTA games and Red Dead Redemption and whatnot. It's not per se an open world game like Skyrim, but you will go into you will say, weasel your way through rocks or whatever, or platform into a new level, and you will all of a sudden be in this massive area, like a shanty town, which is huge, and there will be loads of things to explore in that shanty town that you'll your jaw just drops. You will have to go back into it. I mean, and that's what's great about the game is they didn't really need to allow you to rest at base camps and then be able to go back to these levels. They could have just done away with that. Instead, they said, you know what? We got loads of collectibles. We want you to go back into that level, and we want you to find collectibles. And there are collectibles galore. If you're one of those collectible hounds, like from the old Spyro days and stuff, and collecting gems or just all that shit like that, all those games, those little hidden things, you will love this game. There's a lot of that, and it's when I finished the game, I finished it at 92%. So I don't know how I did that. I guess I got lucky. 92%, that means I almost collected every single artifact, every single everything in the game. And that's what's cool about it. It's all about the island. I mean, you're basically, when you're shipwrecked there, it's dealing with sun queens and a cult thing and your friends and there's this sun queen named Himiko that's being worshipped by these kind of cult people, and his name is Matthias, and I think that's what his name was, and he's controlling all these people, and he wants to bring her back to life, and so there's a whole supernatural element running underneath all this, very much like the show Lost, I think. And there was some people say this is the one, since Lost was never a game on the PlayStation or whatever, this is like a Lost game. Like, if Lost had been a game, it would have been this game. Sort of. I mean, you are stranded here, and the island won't let you leave because you're in the Dragon's Triangle, just south of Japan, in the South Pacific, you know. And so there's all these storms raging, and there's absolutely no way to get off the island. You know, everyone that tries to leave the island gets killed or gets pulled back into it. And there's loads of little I really cared about the relics and stuff and the documents that you found in this. It's just really cool. I actually found myself reading them and rereading them because you have all these Japanese soldiers who are trapped on the island and people that have been shipwrecked, and it talks about them. Whole families were shipwrecked there, and it's really interesting because the island literally won't let you leave. Maybe because this Sun Queen is so angry she won't let anybody leave. Or is it even supernatural? You know, I'm not gonna say. You need to play the game for sure, but it definitely has a really cool Lost type feeling, and also Far Cry 3. I got a lot of that because the upgrade system was better than most, and very easy. You know, I talked about that earlier. Maybe not as good as Far Cry 3, but still really cool. But it would have been cool if there were more tombs. That would have helped out a lot, because there's only a handful of tombs. It could be because this is a prequel or whatever you want to call it, and this is Lara Croft's first little journey into archaeology and stuff. This is what you get. You get a few tombs to raid, and they're very simple puzzles. There's one or two that kind of made me scream a little bit, but I like that. I actually went back and played through a little bit of Underworld after this game, and those tombs will literally take you an hour to figure out the mechanics of it and the different things, but not in this one. You'll figure out the little tombs that are optional. They are completely optional, and within about 10 minutes. And you also have the survival instinct. You just hit the button, and it pops up, and you've all of a sudden everything goes black and white, and everything that you need to kind of collect and or go toward will kind of glow gold. That's your survival instinct. So make the puzzles are incredibly easy that way, and also sometimes you need that to know in what direction you need to go, because there is a map, of course, you can go into, but there's no map on your screen, which makes the game even more, I don't know, amazing in a way, because there's nothing on the screen but you. You have to actually, pause out and go into the main map. But there's about 1,000 of things I could say about the game that that deserves attention. Just there's a lot of attention to detail itself. That's what really surprised me. And when she walks through a caved area holding her torch, she will literally pause, or she will move her torch around and look at something, and if there's fire in a room, like a large, like a building's on fire, she will kind of cringe and hold both of her hands up. It's very fluid and feels very realistic. I mean, it's almost shocking how realistic Laura is in this game, and you really care for her. A lot of people have talked about the beginning of the game and how she's this naive 22-year-old girl or whatever, and she has to make her first kill, and how after she killed this one guy, she kills like 1,000 other ones. Well, if you follow the story a little closer, you will notice that when she rests at the base camps and she talks, that she seems fairly disturbed. And yes, that first kill is she does cry, and it is kind of emotional, and you feel attached to her. But it takes a couple of hours, and then she starts to get more and more confident. You can tell by the way she's talking, and I like the progression of it. It is a fucking video game. In Far Cry 3, Jason Brody, I mean, he escaped from that camp from Voss, and then like within no time, he was like killing tigers and mowing down everybody. So and I think it's because he was a guy, so it's cool. It's okay for a guy to do that kind of shit. For a girl, she has to be more emotional all the time. Whatever. What the fuck ever. I think she's just cool. I think the whole game's cool. I think it shines brighter than so many other games out there. And it's one you almost have to pick up. There's almost no reason not to pick it up. What the fuck are you doing? You shouldn't even be watching this. If you like any third-person action adventure game, go get this. I know you're gonna like it. I mean, shit, if you like Far Cry 3, Batman Arkham City, Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, the old Tomb Raiders, you're gonna like this game. I guarantee you will like it. I promise that you will like this game. You will. Buy it. See ya.